Hello, this is Joe from Nerd in Korea. We are doing our interesting budget commanders, the EDHrec budget Lifegain ones now. So we're going through EDHrec and looking at the themes and looking at the top 5 commanders that are my version of budget, which is $2 or less, which is just what I think should be everyone's budget. When people say $10 budget cards, I'm like, okay, Scrooge McDuck, yeah. So what is this series about? So these videos are meant to give ideas for good commanders that are available on a budget and look at how to build them. Alright, so we look at budget 99 and the budget commanders. So how to build them and what they are. I am focusing on commanders that use particular themes from EDHrec. We are looking at the top 5 budget commanders for particular themes. So what is a theme? The theme of a deck is a focus on mechanics that really defines how the deck works. Definition from Draftism is, the deck theme provides you with information such as which cards you're probably playing, the most efficient spells for each theme, how you win, and sometimes how you avoid losing. Very, very important if you're building a deck to really, the first thing I would do is like pick the commander, pick the theme, and then find things that support the theme. That's what it's all about. This video features commanders that primarily use the Lifegain theme. Okay, so we're on to Lifegain. Last week we did Infect, now we're doing Lifegain. I feel like that's almost the exact opposite of Infect, but anyway. So Lifegain is generally useful to keep yourself in the game. Number one, if you're not running out of life, you're in the game. The whole not losing thing, it's maybe the best theme at making sure you don't lose. One of the main purposes of commander damage is to limit the ability of Lifegain to just carry someone through a game. So commander damage, I think, is one of the main ideas is to offset Lifegain. It's also to make sure the commander is important, right? And valid and create things like Voltron strategies and stuff like that, but it is a lot of it is just to make sure that you can't just let Lifegain, you know. If you've got even like a vampire, maybe Edgar Markov deck, people just might not be able to contend with it without some kind of solution like commander damage. So I've omitted the 4th commander on the list, Amalia Benavides Aguirre. I can't say that properly, but anyway, due to similarity to others. So that's a commander that's just very similar to other ones on the list, and I felt like the list was really boring. If it was just it's pretty much going to be like all Orzhov or things that include Orzhov. Orzhov and 1 Abzan, yeah, which is basically just Orzhov plus green. Okay, in the 99, Marauding Blight Priest, I'm focusing heavily on black because that is kind of the main consistent thing, but of most of these is that they have black. Whenever you gain life, each opponent loses 1 life, so it's 2 and a black for a 3/2 and 32 cents. That's much better than it might sound. It's whenever you gain life. Okay, so every trigger, each opponent loses 1 life. Every trigger. Okay, so if you've got like lifelink on all of your creatures, each creature attacking, or doing damage I should say, sets off this trigger. Every single one. They don't collectively just do life gain, and you say, oh, okay, all of that and now 1 damage. It's like, okay, I've got 5 things with lifelink, 5 damage to all of my opponents. Really adds up fast. Sanguine Bond. This used to be a much more expensive card, that's why I put this in here. 3 black for an enchantment. Whenever you gain life, target opponent loses that much life. Oh boy. Oh boy. Getting a pile of life is not hard, and this turns into damage for 1 opponent. 184. Finally, clear class. The second most common color is definitely white, so I threw this in here. If you would gain life, gain that much life plus 1 instead, for each trigger, remember? And then, yeah. Whenever you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. So you can also start putting +1/+1 counters on creatures per trigger. And then, yeah. This also gives you recursion for 113. Number 5. Dina Soulsteeper. Again, whenever you gain life, each opponent loses 1 life. Alright, so she is in 6,487 decks. This is one I really want to build. I might do a budget deck for this because I really like. She's very simple, but good in her simplicity. And you can sacrifice another creature. She gets +X/+0 until end of turn, where X is the sacrificed creature's power. So you've got a lifelink commander that you can just suddenly turn into a Voltron. You can pay 1, she does not tap, so you can pay 1 multiple times, sacrifice multiple creatures, and give her just a huge boost. So if you've got like tokens that are getting some kind of anthem effect, where they're supposed to be 1/1s and now they're 3/3s, sacrifice 3 of them, give her +9, and yeah, that's 10 damage already, right? You get 1 more and then double strike, and that's just one-shotting people with commander damage, right? Anyway, 24 cents. And she's the only Golgari on this list as well. Yeah. And a fly... Mosquito's attacking me. Oh no. Okay, so definitely leaning into the Golgari for this because she is the only Golgari. But anyway, or into the green in general, I guess. Honest Rustin. I love this card. This is one I think people should pick up because I think it is going to go way up in value. There's no way this stays at like 50 cents. So 1 Golgari, black-green, for a 3/2, and when he enters the battlefield, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. That mosquito. And creature spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Cost reduction. Getting a creature back and cost reduction is a nice combination, especially for 50 cents. Mortality Spear. So this is expensive for removal, but it takes care of that. 2 Golgari. So 4 CMC altogether. This spell costs 2 less to cast if you gain life this turn. Anytime. There's so many ways you can gain life automatically at the beginning of your turn, and all kinds of effects that do that, or any lifelink, right? Just automatically, you gain 1 life, that's good enough for this. That's all you need. And yeah, the spell, anyway, destroy target non-land permanent. Non-land, not creature, not artifact, not whatever. Non-land permanent. So if it's not a land, you can blow it up. 25 cents only. That's really most likely in this deck going to be a 2 mana removal for anything. Whew. And Essence Warden, 1 green for a 1/1. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield, you gain 1 life. Okay, whenever another creature enters, what does it not say? Under your control. This doesn't care if the creature is your creature or your opponent's creature. You're gaining 1 life anyway. And yeah, that's one way you can just kind of keep basically ticking people down with this commander. You're going to gain a life, and they're going to lose a life, and then every time a creature enters the battlefield, especially if they've got some kind of token deck, that's going to add up so fast. Oh my, 199. Number 4. Bilbo Birthday Celebrant. Okay, Bilbo. Aww. Anyway, Abzan, so he's white, black, green. I think that's actually the strongest color. Mardu is my favorite personally, but I think it is the strongest. So if you would gain life, gain that much +1 instead. Once again, remember it is per trigger. I think a lot of people read this and think, oh, lifelink, all of them do damage at the same time, so that counts as 1 combat trigger. It's not. They're all separate triggers. So yeah, this next part you can probably use much more easily than people realize. 2 white, black, green, and tap, exile Bilbo, search a library for a number of creature cards, any number of creature cards, put them onto the battlefield, then shuffle. Any number of creature cards straight to the battlefield. And you have to exile him. Remember, if he's your commander, when you exile him, he changes zones. You can just put him back in the command zone. Oh boy. This is like the craziest tutor, I think, in the game. Very heavy requirement. 111 life is not easy. Trying to get that done will probably make you feel like butter spread over too much toast. But anyway, 43 cents. Okay, so this is obviously something you need to have almost if you're running a tricolor deck. The landscape cycle that came out recently. The Modern Horizons 3 one, right? So you can tap it to add a colorless. Yeah, sure. Or tap it and sacrifice it and basically use it as like an Evolving Wilds type of thing. For any of the lands you need. And it also has cycling. So if you've got too many lands in hand, you can just get rid of this and get another card. It's 3 mana to cycle, so it's cheap, but if it's later in the game, you draw this and you're like, oh, I definitely don't need the land. Just, junk it and then draw another card. 15 cents. It's, really, the cycling option is not ideal, but it's an option, you know? Next up, Soul Warden. 1 white mana for a 1/1. Again, whenever another creature enters the battlefield, you gain 1 life. Once again, doesn't care if it's your creature or someone else's creature, you're just gaining life. And with Bilbo, that's 2 life, right? So getting that 111 sounds really, really difficult, and it is. But if you've got 3 opponents casting creature spells and you're getting 2 life every time, that shortens that gap quite a bit. Throw in clear class there as well, and they are 3 life per creature. Finally, so 161, sorry. Finally, Cosmic Rebirth. Alright, so Selesnya, 1 Selesnya, 1 green-white. Choose target permanent card in your graveyard. If it has mana value 3 or less, put it onto the battlefield. If you don't put it onto the battlefield, put it into your hand, gain 3 life. This just does everything you want in this deck. This is not the best card in the world. It's crazy in this deck. Especially Soul Warden. They're going to want to get something like Soul Warden off the battlefield. So if someone blows it up, you just put it straight back out again. And yeah, even if you're getting a 3 mana creature out of your graveyard for this, for 3, that's incredible. And gaining 3 life. Kind of just salt. Anyway, 25 cents. Number 3. Lisa? I feel like it sounds like lice. So I'm going to say Lisa, Shroud of Dusk. Anyway, Dex 283. Rather than pay for each previous time you cast this from the command zone, pay 2 life that many times. Basically, you pay life instead of your commander attacks, which is nice. This is a 5 mana to cast, so it's a little steep there, but yeah. Getting rid of commander attacks is huge. Flying Lifelink. 5/5 Flying Lifelink, not bad for 5. And whenever a player casts a spell, they lose 2 life. This does include you. So your commander will be damaging you, but you're gonna just have all the lifelink. So this commander is kind of different in that the lifelink is really used to offset the damage you're doing to yourself. Still very good. 69 cents. A friend of mine actually we did a commander, what was it called? Anyway, yeah, we did a commander like draft, and we did this, our commander, commander set draft. I can't think of names of anything. Anyway, 69 cents. Suture Priest. I love this card. it went way up in value for a while. And I was like, oh, I've got one. That's nice. And then it went back down, of course, because I have one. Anyway, 1 and a white for a 1/1. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, gain 1 life, or you may gain 1 life. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under an opponent's control, you may have that opponent lose 1 life. So you cast things, you gain life. They cast things, they lose life. I love it. I love it. 188. Blind Obedience. 1 and a white. It has Extort. Very important. Artifacts and creatures your opponents control enter the battlefield tapped. This is a real double down, right? They cast a creature, they're going to lose 2 life, and it comes in tapped so they can't even use it that turn. Very funny. Also great against haste, right? If they're using a lot of haste, this kind of shuts down haste. Also mana rocks. Anyway. And Extort. Whenever you cast a spell, you may add a black or white. If you do, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain that much life. So again, each opponent is going to lose 1 life. You're going to gain 3 for 1 mana. Especially with her, this is very, very, very good because casting that spell is going to cost you 2 life. You want to offset that right away. So you're going to make all your opponents lose 4 and you're going to gain 1 net, right? Anyway, 170 and Valkyrie Harbinger. So it's 6 mana for a 4/5 flying lifelink. Flying lifelink, right? Good combination and follows easy to build with your commander with this because you can kind of like, you got 2 routes. You got the making more of the lifelink, making more of the flyer. Doing a flyer deck with this would be really good. Anyway, at the beginning of each end step, each, including your opponents, create, if you gain 4 or more life this turn, create a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying and vigilance. If you have Suture Priest and Clear class, every time they cast a creature, you're gaining 2 life per creature. That's 4 for 2 creatures. So at their end step, you're creating that. You're already making that angel. A 4/4 flying angel token is no joke. Okay, they're going to need like a dragon deck to deal with that. Anyway, 145. Number 2. Clavilinio? I can't pronounce things, I'm sorry. First of the Bless, so Dex 4,205. One thing about Lifelink, there are way more decks. You see so many more decks. A lot of these are under 1,000 even, and these are not. These are stacked. Anyway, so 1 Orzhov, again white-black, 1 white-black. Whenever you attack, target attacking vampire that isn't a demon becomes a demon in addition to its other types. It gains. When this creature dies, draw a card and create a tapped 3/4 white and black vampire creature token with flying. Oh boy. Okay, so this is a bit different in that it's definitely vampire kindred, but you can kind of set this up so that you actually want your vampires to be like dropping. A lot of sacrifice effects that you can use to do that as well, to get added value and make these tokens, and then you want to be able to even, double up on these tokens, like be able to populate these tokens, and then, it gets really out of control really quickly. Anyway, 50 cents. So, Baron Bertram Greywater. Okay, so he is a vampire. Again, 2 Orzhov, 2 white-black for a 3/4. And sacrifice another creature or artifact, draw a card. He's got the sack outlet on him, and he does not require that he taps. It needs 2 mana, but no tapping, right? So as long as you keep mana around, 1 and a black, you can keep doing that. Whenever 1 or more tokens enters the battlefield under your control, create a 1/1 black vampire rogue creature token with lifelink. This ability triggers only once each turn. So you're going to make your vampire, maybe you sacrifice, or just, it gets taken out, however. you make your demon, and as soon as you make that demon, you make this as well. And then you can use this as you're gonna sacrifice that, and then this becomes kind of like a cycle where you just keep like sacrificing, attacking, hopefully sacrificing it, drawing a card, and yeah, making another demon. So you're kind of leveling up their 1/1 for a 4/3. Anyway, 24 cents. Muster the Departed, 2 and a white. So when it enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 white spirit token with flying. Sure, why not? At the beginning of your end step, if a creature died this turn, populate. So create a token that's a copy of a creature you control. So you're just going to start making token copies of whatever you want. Maybe your token, maybe another creature. And then yeah, you're just going to keep doing that until yeah, you can really kind of offset the whole, you're sacrificing things. You want your vampires taken out, headed into the graveyard. I don't want to use the D word. I usually end up doing it by accident anyway. But yeah, this is just going to keep pumping out more because those are going and you're making those demons. You're going to keep like just populating more and more and more. So every turn you're going to have something heading to the graveyard, and you're going to make that demon, and you're going to also make populate, and probably with, if you've got Bertram, you're going to make a spirit, or not a spirit, a vampire that you can use to keep this cycle going. Oh boy, for 2 and a white, 15 cents only for this enchantment. Cordial Vampire, so 2 black for a 1/1. So whenever a Cordial Vampire or another creature dies, put a 1/1 counter on each vampire you control. Each vampire, whenever it or another creature dies. Not creature you control, another creature. So your opponents are fighting each other. They take out each other's board. Great. You're just going to like put a whole pile of +1/+1 counters on all of your vampires, which is almost everything. Anyway, 65 cents. Number 1. Oh, what theme do you want me to do next? I'm very open to suggestions. People don't want to make them. I think YouTubers don't really listen most of the time. I do everything you guys say. Frodo Adventurous Hobbit. Good old Frodo. Hey. 10,565 decks. That's an insane number, okay? I've never seen anything over 10,000. Anyway, so partner with Sam, loyal attendant. Yeah, sure, why not? Okay, so he's Orzhov, a white and a black for a 1/3 with vigilance. Whenever he attacks, if you gain 3 or more life this turn, the ring tempts you. The ring tempts you. I think people don't really like this mechanic a lot. I think it's pretty good. It is extra benefit for really just doing what you normally do. It doesn't cost you extra mana. It doesn't cost cards or mana really to use it. So it's low key, but it's very good. Then if your ring bearer, then if Frodo is your ring bearer and the ring has tempted you 2 or more times this game, draw a card. So you're getting card draw off this as well. 40 cents. So yeah, he's about the ring tempts you. Kind of off-brand for lifelink, but he's very good with lifelink as well. So yeah. Where he is lifelink, of course, is the gain 3 or more life. You want that trigger, so you want lots of things that are going to trigger like this. We already had one, but we're going to look at those life gain triggers for him. Anyway, 40 cents. Guahir, greatest of the Eagles, 4 and a white for a 5/5 flyer. And yeah, whenever he attacks, target attacking creature gains flying until end of turn. Giving extra flying, very nice. At the beginning of each end step, if you gain 3 or more life this turn, create a 3/3 white bird creature token with flying. And whenever this creature attacks, target creature you're attacking gains flying. So you're making these 3/3 tokens that are going to give other creatures flying as well. I guess they're hopping on its back, you know? But very cool. 37 cents only. Samwise the Stout-Hearted. This is not the partner one, but 1 and a white for a 2/1. You can flash him in also. And when he enters the battlefield, choose up to 1 target permanent card in your graveyard. If it was put there from the battlefield this turn, return it to your hand. The ring tempts you. There's your extra ring tempts you trigger and recursion as well. It is kind of like a limited recursion where you have to do it on the same turn, which is a bit of a downside, but you're getting a creature out of it as well. 19 cents. Finally, Indulging Patrician. 1 white black for a flyer with lifelink. 1/4 with lifelink, not bad. At the beginning of your end step, if you gain 3 or more life this turn, each opponent loses 3 life. Just automatically making them lose life because you gain life. Really cool mechanic. Anyway, 79 cents. Please hit like and subscribe. It really does make a difference. Oh yeah. Alright, so the list. Here we go. Dina Soulsteeper, 24 cents. Really need to build her. Bilbo Birthday Celebrant, 43 cents. Interesting kind of challenge build, I think. Lisa Shroud of Dusk is 69 cents. Clavinio First of the Blessed, 50 cents. And Frodo Adventurous Hobbit, only 40 cents. Okay, and take it easy.